Hello, I'm Refashionista Sheri, and if you love all things DIY, thrifted, secondhand, thrifty, flippies, all that kind of stuff, you've definitely arrived in the right place because I put out a brand new rockin' Refashionista video every single week. So be sure to subscribe, share your fave tutorials of mine with your online circles, and let's get everyone living a more remaking, refashioning, eco-friendly lifestyle. If you've been with me for a while, truly, thank you so much, because without, your lovely likes and comments and shares and ideas that you guys give me, I, wouldn't have the energy to do this. So thank you so much. And you know what? If you have been with me for a while, you will definitely recognize this awesome plaid maxi dress, because I thrifted it a while ago and I shared it and styled it and everything, but it kind of has been sitting in my closet since then because every time I put it on, the buttons don't stay closed. It is that, little bit too snug on my chestal and hippie area here that the buttons, like right now, this button, the waist button has popped open. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to upsize this dress, and I'm going to use a technique that I've actually tried years ago on a blouse, but I have no idea if it's going to work on this. Before we jump into it though, let's have a look at this awesome plaid pattern. And look at this. I spotted this at the thrift shop a few days ago, and I think it is close enough to this plaid that I can use the fabric from this plaid shirt to upsize this plaid maxi dress. And fingers crossed it's gonna work. As you know, most of my tutorials, I'm trying them out for the first time. And as always, you don't need any special skills or tools or anything like that. So you know what? Let's get making. For this hopefully quick and easy upsizing project, all you need is your dress that is too snug on your chest and hip and possibly waist area as well, plus some fabric to create your upsizing panel. Now, as I said, I think this is close enough, and I always like a good pattern mix anyway, so I think it's going to actually come out pretty awesome. Oh, and of course you need your sewing gear. So because this is a very long maxi dress, the very first thing I'm going to do is measure from the back bottom collar area here all the way down to the bottom hem. And then that way I should be able to have the general idea of how long I need my back panel to be, because guys, that's what we're doing. We are just going to simply add a back panel to this dress, and then hopefully that's going to widen it up enough that it's going to be comfortable to wear. So this appears to be 140 centimeters long. That's pretty long. I really hope I have enough fabric. Luckily, my plaid shirt is kind of like a tunic length, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have enough fabric here, and I'm just going to measure the back of my tunic shirt from this area here. I totally am forgetting what this area is called. Is this a yoke? I don't know. You let me know down below. This back part here, what is that called on a blouse or a shirt? Anyway, so I'm going to measure from the bottom of that all the way down to the end of my shirt here, and it is about 70 centimeters, so that's pretty perfect. If I cut out this back piece and then chop it in half and stitch it together, I should have pretty much exactly 140 centimeters, which is perfect. Okay, so I chopped out the back, I cut it into two pieces, and I just, stitched those two pieces together into a very long length, and I think it's actually going to work. I'm quite shocked, but clearly this is not even. That looks terrible. So now what I'm going to do is chop my upsizing panel piece here into a very long triangular shape. And the top part is going to be the thinnest part, because this is the part that's going to go up by the collar. And then the bottom, you can see here, I did keep the original hem of the shirt. So hopefully I won't have to rehem this. I can just stitch it onto my dress. But yeah, let's go chop this into a nicer looking triangle shape. Okay, so there is my great big long triangle shape. I mean, it's not perfect, but as I always say, perfection is the enemy of good enough, and this is definitely going to be good enough. Okay, you can see here I have opened up my maxi dress. Luckily, it had buttons all the way down the front, so I've opened it all up and laid it out as flat as humanly possible. And before I laid it out, I did go ahead and mark the center of the back of the collar. Now, you can see here, isn't that nice that this line literally is the center of the collar, but then it's no longer the center. So it would be great if I could just follow that line all the way down, but I can't. So what I'm going to have to do instead is what I always do, and I'm just gonna eyeball it, and I'm going to start at the bottom and then just chop all the way up to the bottom of the collar to open up the back of this dress. Okay, guys, I did it. I chopped all the way up the back until just below the collar there. And I'm often asked, you know, how did I get over my fear of just chopping up fabric? And you know what? I haven't really. But I just do it because I want to wear this, and this is the only way to make it fit me. So if a refashion doesn't work out, I know I can just refashion it into something else. But if you want to know exactly how and why I do what I do from start to finish and learn all of my tips, tricks, techniques, all of that stuff, I highly recommend taking my Refashioning 101 e-course. And because it is the holiday season right now, I am giving you a 50% off, which makes it less than $50. And yeah, just use the code REFASHION50. And if you're still not sure, here is Frau Inge to tell you all about it.
Hallo, mein Name ist Frau Ingeboerg. Und are you tired of looking in your closet and seeing nothing to wear? What about it looking in your bank account and seeing nothing there either? Well, Refashionista Sheri has the solution to both of your problems. Her Refashioning 101 e-course shows you exactly from start to finish how to upcycle and refashion your wardrobe, and then in the very final lesson she is showing you how to take all of the skills you learned and start your own eco-fashion business online, selling the items that you don't want anymore and the items that you create yourself. Go to Refashioning 101, enroll in the course, and start your eco-fashion journey today.
Okay, so I just popped my insert in behind the dress here, laying on the floor, just to see what it was going to look like, and holy crap, I think that's going to be awesome. So now it's time to stitch it together. Okay, so you can see here, I have my long insert triangle lying on top of my chopped maxi dress with the right sides facing, and I have lined up the raw chopped edges here, and I'm actually going to start stitching from the bottom because I really do want to try to keep this finished edge here of the insert so I don't have to do any hemming, because I really don't like hemming. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go stitch that side on first, and then we're going to come back and figure out how to stitch on this side. Okay, so once again, my little refashionista brain was successful, and this actually worked. I cannot believe it, and I'm super excited now to go stitch on the other side. Like, that looks so cool. I think for sure I'm going to have to iron this, but wow, I am impressed with myself once again. Okay, so before I stitch this other side together, I thought I better show you how I managed to get it all lined up nicely. So all I did was take that side of the maxi dress that was over here before, and I just folded it over. So I have the right sides facing once again, so super simple, and I have lined up those bottom hems. So now let's go stitch it together, give it an iron, and see what it's going to look like. So as I said, this definitely needs to be ironed, but how perfect did that come out? Like, seriously, look at that. that I cannot believe how great that top part came out. And you see, it's just literally a triangular shape all the way down. And I know some people are going to say, I want to see the inside. So here's the inside, and at the top, I simply, there you can see my little finished triangle. Then I just folded over that little bit of excess and stitched it down, and I managed to follow the exact line here of the original collar seam, so that's great. Now, because I don't have a serger, I'm probably going to go back and redo this fabric edge here because they are fraying a little bit, and I might do a rolled hem foot just to finish that off nicely. But now I'm gonna go iron this whole thing, and then we can finally try it on and style it up.
You guys, I just about fell out of my front door, so that was not cool. Anyways, this came out actually a little bit too big. I think it's like 2 sizes bigger, but that's okay because you know what? It is super duper comfortable and I can totally layer it now without any issue. The buttons are definitely, look at this, gonna stay done up, which is absolutely fabulous. And I really think that the back panel looks perfect. It's a wonderful plaid pattern mix. Do let me know down below what you think, and be sure to check out my Refashioning 101 e-course, and you know what? Get inside this refashionista brain and learn all the stuff that I've already taught myself. And if you're wondering what you can make for people on your list for this holiday season, well, I got my Nifty Thrifty DIY Gifts e-course as well, and that is less than the cost of a trip to the thrift store. It's only 20 bucks, so it's actually less than 20 bucks, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, remember the code REFASHION50 for Refashioning 101, and let me know if you're gonna do this, if you have anything that's a bit snug, and if you're gonna, add that triangular back panel to make it bigger, because clearly it works, and clearly it's awesome. And why should we always go and buy new stuff if we don't have to? You have something that's too tight, upsize it. Use all of my upsizing tutorials. I have like a whole playlist on my channel. I have a whole index on my blog. So come on, you got no excuse. No excuse whatsoever. Go upsize those too tight garments. Okay, until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag. Mwah! I love this so much now, and it's so super twirly too.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.